live.
All right, good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We are way better in person than we are online, I promise you, and we look forward to being back in person with you very soon. I'm Captain Todd Copeland. I'm the commanding officer of Naval Support Activity South Potomac, which includes Dahlgren and the base up at Indian Head, Stump Neck, and Pumpkin Neck. I want to welcome everyone. I want to thank University of Mary Washington Dahlgren campus for having us here, for letting us use their facilities, and happy holidays to everyone on the council here. I'm joined by Richard Granger, who will come up here in a second and give a little bit of an update from King George County Board of Supervisors. A few of the things we want to talk about today is really what's happening in South Potomac at Indian Head and Dahlgren on the COVID response, what we're doing for that, some of the activities that we've had in the past to include VIP visits, and some of the projects we have coming up in the future. So first and foremost, COVID-19. So on November 20th, I directed the Naval Support Activity South Potomac to go back into Health Protection Condition Charlie, which has more restrictions than Bravo, which we've been in since June. The reasons behind that is that we look at the cases per 100,000. Right now, the entire area is around 200 plus or minus 10 or 20 a day. The threshold to be in Bravo is actually 50 per 100,000. We also look at the percent of positive infections. So we're at about 15.5% right now, and that anomaly needs to be down below 10, and really we'd like to be closer to 5. So we're not an anomaly for the National Capital Region. Every U.S. Navy base right now is at Charlie, and every base, every installation of all services in the region right now is at Charlie. To get out of Charlie, we need to get the numbers down. We need to get the infection rate down. We were the first ones in June to go from Charlie to Bravo. By doing that, and we have the team and the tools in place to go forward on doing that. So what happens with Charlie? A couple things. We've asked all the tenants to go down to 20% of their manpower and let them manage that so that they continue to do the mission, and mission is first here on the base. The second thing is that we've had to curb some of our services that we offer. So the bowling alley and the movie theater, the Starbucks there on base are all closed. And then last time we were in Charlie, we had to shut down the fitness center for several months. We've learned a lot since that time. So now with the right cleaning and the staff being trained the way they are right now, the fitness center is going to remain open for active duty and first responders just to keep the numbers down below the CDC guidelines. Come on with masks. You know, we wear ours every day, all day. You get used to it, but we ask that everyone wears that. But you're still allowed to come into the commissary, to the exchange, to the clinic, to do those kinds of things. But the other quality of life things we had to close down. So some of the good news, we did have the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Gilday, come and visit us at Dahlgren a couple weeks ago. He got to meet up with a lot of the students at ATRC and CSCS, as well as do a tour of a lot of the NSWC facilities. He showed great interest in what we do here. He did promise to come see us at Indian Head too, so I'm going to hold his staff to that. But he really focused in on our manning and our manpower, really with the active duty. We're around 58% manned right now for the folks over there at the school, and he did take it for action to direct his staff to really look at that and try to get us a little bit healthier on the military manpower. So hopefully we'll see an increase over the next couple of years in that military manning. Honorable Williams, who's the Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Installations, Energy, and the Environment, came to Indian Head. That was, he got to meet with some of the community leaders out in town first, and then we gave him a really extensive tour of Indian Head. He looked at a lot of the reclamation projects that we have going on, a lot of the environmental cleanup. He got to go down there and see the Strauss Avenue burn point and really kind of understand what it is that we as the installation are really focused on right now, which is improving the infrastructure, doing environmental cleanup, you know, getting the base to the point that it's really going to be sustained for the next 20 to 40 years down the road. We've had a lot of really good conversations with his staff since then to help us get there. We've also been in coordination with VDOT and the Potomac River Fisheries Commission on what's happening with the bridge. I'm not going to be the one that guarantees it's going to be ready by December 15th, but that's the plan. Everything from their inputs is on track and being completed, and so we are all looking forward to that project and continuing to get updates from them. For Indian Head in January, I think it's probably going to be before January 31st, but by the end of January, that new gate is going to be completely done. I'm going to invite some of the folks there at Indian Head to come do, hopefully not a virtual ribbon cutting, but some sort of ribbon cutting to get that thing opened up. But that's a tremendous project. It helps us with force protection and the anti-terrorism mission by making sure that the base is protected and doors are facing the right way and all of that. But it really is also going to help the town of Indian Head with any traffic and congestion and things like that, and really expedite getting on and off base. And we're excited about that. So what have we done for quality of life? We really got creative. We have done what now will be an annual event, which is reverse trick-or-treating on both installations. We had a line of 20-something cars honking their horns, handing out 20,000 pieces of candy to the kids on both bases. It was a huge hit to the point that most parents said that they weren't really interested in their kids going and trick-or-treating 2 nights later. They had all the candy that they needed. But we're trying to think out of the box. Like, what can we do? We had Santa go around to Dahlgren, and he'll be at Indian Head tomorrow, or Thursday, to meet up with the kids. And Santa is legit. It was a fantastic event with him going around there. And we appreciate him making the trip here from the South Pole, North Pole, from the Pole. So my kids are kind of old. But we are really trying to do what we can, thinking out of the box. Tonight we're going to do a virtual Christmas caroling on base. We have some very talented students that are going to be singing. I will be announcing the winners for the best houses decorated on base, as well as the best doors in the barracks. So you've got like 8 hours to put up that last huge blow-up thing in your front yard to try to win that. But we're trying to do what it is that we can to really keep morale up, because this is a really stressful time for both those on base and off base as we try to get through this last push for COVID. So at Dahlgren, we're ready for the traffic to come back. So we put 2 different projects, both at the main gate and then there at B gate, to help get traffic in and traffic out quicker. Our Public Works Department and contracting out with some outside help paved some new roads and some new exits, and you'll be able to see the schematic, but when the traffic is back, we're ready to be a little bit more efficient getting in and out. And we've also got a swing arm project on Potomac Drive that's ready to go to help keep that traffic coming off Potomac Drive from kind of clogging everything up there at the B gate. We're not going to put that thing down until the traffic comes back, but it is ready to go to help really contain the traffic coming in and out, and also for force protection. And we've coordinated that with VDOT. So for the environmental updates, like I said, the biggest things there, we had Secretary Williams come over to Indian Head, but we have some other historic buildings and some renovation and projects that we're doing there. And I won't go through everything on here, but we are here and happy to answer any questions and have discussions going forward. And there's some links there on the slides that you'll see, and then Jaron will push out a little bit later. But it is something that we've spent several $1 million in pushing forward on doing these environmental projects to help get both fence lines updated to current standards. And that's it for me. I would like to thank everyone for their time, and I'd like to also introduce Richard Granger and have him come up here, and we'll figure out how to get his slides up here as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Copeland. Everyone will just bear with me for a moment. I'm going to switch over to the slides. We got that all right. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for attending and coming out. I'd like to say thank you to Captain Copeland for taking the time today to come and participate in the COMREL meeting. I always appreciate this opportunities to interact with the base. I'd like to say thank you to the COMREL Executive Committee for participating, my colleagues on that board, and for coming out, and all those people who are attending. I'd also like to say thank you to University of Mary Washington Dahlgren campus for letting us actually have our meeting here. I know it's not as many people as we normally like to have at these meetings, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to normal at some time in the near future. I think it's a much better event when we are able to interact with each other and socialize, but I'm really excited about the opportunity for us to actually come in here and hold one of these events. I know the last couple have been canceled. So I'd like to say thank you to Ms. Hayes in particular for helping to coordinate this. I thought it was really important that we try to get back and start doing these again, and so like I said, hopefully they'll actually be in person in the near future. And thank you again. Captain Copeland, it's our first opportunity. We haven't met before, obviously, but I wasn't able to attend the change of command for Captain O'Leary switching out with yourself, Captain Copeland. So I've always appreciated Captain O'Leary's service to the nation and his interaction with the county, and so far it's been great with you as well, Captain Copeland. In particular, when you were speaking about the traffic, that's something that the county really looks at in particular, because it does have some challenges for our schools and our fire and safety rescue, and so I really appreciate the base, and I think our whole board really appreciates all the base does in order to help try to alleviate those kinds of impacts, and I think we have a great relationship. As far as I've been on the board, it's always been a great relationship, so thank you so much, and thank you for continuing that. But moving forward, almost end of 2020 here. It's been a weird year. It's been real challenging. I know that it would be great to be able to talk about all these great things we're going to be doing. It's just tough to have anything happen with everything going on. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we have done in King George, dealing with 2020 and the impacts of COVID, and the events that we have been able to hold. And so it was a big year for us. It was our 300th anniversary, and so we had these grand plans every month of holding these big events. A lot of them got canceled. We were able to still hold some, and so it's a big deal for us, and wanted to make sure it didn't completely go away, but a lot of challenges in regards to it. So I'll speak a little bit about that at the end. So just talking a little bit about some of the things that we've done with our economic development. In April, we approved our visitKingGeorge.com site and launched the Carry Out King George. Obviously, that's been a big impact for local businesses, the food industry businesses. We're trying to make sure that we support those people and those businesses because they're being hurt right now, when everything's closing down. So we're trying to do what we can to help them out. In August, we were awarded a grant from the Virginia Tourism Corporation for the Wanderlove. And this is a big Virginia campaign for endorsing tourism inside the county. And so there's big signs and things that get created for it. And so we got the grant for creating ours, and it's over by our Citizen Center. You can see it's like a swing with it says "Love It" on the top. So that was exciting. In November, the EDA is awarded to 62 different businesses $302,000 in grants. And so this all came out of the CARES Act funding, which I'm sure all the localities are familiar with because it trickled down from the federal to the states, and then the states gave some to the localities. And so we said, hey, we're going to take some of those dollars, and we have needs that we have in the community aside from just the county needs. And so we said, how can we help those businesses? And so this was what our economic development director came up with, was a grant program to help meet the needs of small businesses. And so I'll go into that shortly about some of the statistics about that. But I think it was a big success, and it helped those businesses, and we do what we can, but it's been, like I said, it's been a tough and challenging year. The other thing would be, I think as everyone has probably come to realize, broadband is necessary. We all knew it before, right? I mean, it's not like anything's different, but man, with the challenges this year, with homeschooling and teleworking, having reliable broadband is such a necessity. It's like power in running water. I think it's a utility, a public utility that is necessary for everyone at this point. And so we're continuing to explore new options. We just got a grant to partner with Atlantic Broadband, and it's not a huge grant, but it will impact several dozen houses and with install date before the end of the year. So that's exciting for us. As I said, talking about the CARES Act grant program a little bit, we had 71 applications in total, 62 were awarded, and a little bit of a breakdown about different types of businesses. They're small businesses, women-owned, minority-owned, breaking out further from the different types. Total impacts of employees were 351. and 47 of those were brick and mortar. And so, it's a big deal for the county. From our own perspective as well, we want those, as all local officials probably know, you want those brick and mortar people in place because that has an impact on your revenue. And so, we want to help make sure that they're going to be around because that's important to us as well. From a selfish perspective, that's not where we should be doing it necessarily, but we do have some reasons as well because it helps us as well to help them. And so, it's an important part for us in the makeup of our county. Broadband initiatives. So this is a big deal. Back at the Virginia General Assembly adopted 56-58519. And so the governor's made a mandate. He says within 10 years he wants everyone to have broadband access. I think there's about 660,000 citizens in Virginia that don't have broadband. That's the estimates. And so Governor Northam wants to make sure that everyone has broadband access within 10 years. And so he's been setting up these grant programs. And so the county has gotten involved, and it's right at the beginning. And so we've gotten into an MOU with Dominion Power. So the whole idea here is we're going to try to run, and we're not going to be doing it, but the idea is you're going to run infrastructure along the right-of-ways for the power company. And it's going to then run that fiber infrastructure along those lines, and that's going to be the middle mile connections. And so that's the big deal, because that's the real hard part we get done. It gets really expensive to run that stuff, and so trying to find a way to get that done really helps, because otherwise you're not going to have access. We have houses that are spread out pretty far in King George. I know some of our other localities are probably facing similar situations where the homes are just so far apart, and it's just not cost effective for a cable company to come in and run the lines. So we have Dominion Power, who's gotten into an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding with several different counties. Ourselves, Westmoreland, Richmond, Northumberland, and Lancaster. And then the idea would be after they've run the middle mile, then you're going to have another company come in, an ISP, and in this case it's All Points Broadband, and they would be the ones who would be doing the last mile connections to the citizens. And so we're really hopeful that this will help solve our problem for most of our residents. I know that hopefully this will have a positive impact on employees of the base as well that live in King George in order to help provide them with the internet connectivity they need in order to continue to be in the posture that we are currently in. I'm one of those people who's in that posture, and so it can be challenging at times, but at the same time we still need to get the job done, and that's an important part to get done. So other than that, the big thing that we had going on, as I said, was our King George 300th anniversary celebration, and a big thank you to the King George County staff and Graviton Entertainment. They were who we contracted out in order to help set up all the different events that we had going on. And as I said before, we were supposed to have one a month. But from about March through September, they all got canceled. And so I just have a last slide here, which shows a couple of our photos. We got started about a year ago, actually. And it was in UNW, Dahlgren, in the upper right-hand corner. You can see that was our Founders Day celebration. And so we had a proclamation read. We had some actors who portrayed, historical people from those times when the county was originally founded. And so that was kind of a fun event. And I appreciate that the base came out as well, Captain Leary at that time. Appreciate that support. So we had that. Then we had our Christmas tree lighting at the end of last year, which we just did again this year. Then early in the year, in the lower right corner, there's our celebration of James Madison's birthday. He was born in King George County over at
Belgrove.
I'm sorry?
Belgrove.
Belgrove, thank you. I apologize, I totally mind blanked. Belgrove, right over by Port Royal. And so I don't know if everyone knows that, but it's kind of exciting to think that one of our founding fathers is from this region. And so every year we go out and there's an actor who portrays James Madison. He's really entertaining, and it's always a good time. So we were able to get that event in, and that was the last one. And then everything kind of ended. We were supposed to have fireworks before the July, then we were supposed to partner with the base. Obviously, none of those happened because of COVID. But at the end of the year, we did get a couple of more events in. And so we had the Evening Under the Stars that was at Back Porch Vineyards. And I thank you, Captain Copeland. He came out to that, and I know he spoke. And appreciate his participation and support of our activities with that as well. But that was a fun one to get back into it and actually start celebrating again. And then in November, we finally had our fireworks celebration. So we had those fireworks and we wanted to be able to shoot them off. So over at Sealston Elementary, which is near the other end of the county by Stafford County, we had a big setup of vendors coming out, and so people could come and be outdoors, so you were able to socially distance and still be safe. But then at the end of the evening, we actually set up all fireworks, and I'll be honest with you, it was probably the best fireworks display I've ever seen. I was a little surprised. I obviously was involved in the decision to move forward with that I didn't realize exactly how good it was going to be. It was really great though. So hopefully we'll get to do that again in the future, and people will be able to come out, and we'll have more people that will be able to come out. So, again, thank you to the base. Thank you for the relationship we have. I think it's a great relationship. I look forward to continuing that relationship, and I really appreciate the support you've given us in order to help address impacts to our county. And I hope that we are, I know I'm cognizant of it and the impacts that we have when we make decisions. And, we want to be good partners. So thank you to all of you guys. Thank you to your staff. Thank you to